One of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. Home for rare and endemic plants and animals. The oldest wildlife protected area in Maharashtra. Let's explore Land of the Gaur. The monsoon, the season of plenty, brings in lots of bounty, and during this time, one can experience nature at its best. The best place in India to experience this melodrama is, of course, the Western Ghats, one of the biodiversity hotspots in the world. The Western Ghats region of Maharashtra, also known as Sahyadri, although the least explored, has an assemblage of unique habitats with rich diversity of flora and fauna. Because of the exceptional biological and aesthetic values, recently, some of these habitats have been declared as World Heritage Sites. There are 4 serially nominated World Heritage Sites in Maharashtra. One of them is the Radhanagari Wildlife Sanctuary, a place worth exploring not only during the monsoon but also in all seasons. This pristine, lush green undulating landscape with steep valleys is situated about 80 kilometers west of Kolhapur city in Maharashtra. Prior to independence, the Maharaja of Kolhapur, Chhatrapati Shahu, reserved this forest mainly for hunting. He also constructed a dam on the river Bhogavati near Radhanagari, which is a vital water source for the Kolhapur region. His far-sightedness resulted in the conservation of this pristine landscape and wildlife therein. In 1958, part of this forest was declared as the Dajipur Wildlife Sanctuary, the first wildlife protected area in Maharashtra. In 1985, the entire catchment areas of the Radhanagari Dam and the newly constructed Kalammawadi Dam were added, and it was notified as the Radhanagari Wildlife Sanctuary, covering an area of around 351.16 square kilometers. The forest is predominantly semi-evergreen with undisturbed and thick evergreen patches locally known as dung. Notable among these are Kala dung and Patyatsa dung. Apart from these, there are many open grasslands inside the forest, which are grazing grounds for herbivores in this sanctuary. The most unique feature of this landscape is the presence of large, exposed lateritic plateaus, locally called Sada. These unique geological formations are seen mostly on top of the mountains and are flat with scanty vegetation in summer, but they metamorphose into a picturesque landscape during the monsoon. A visit to such plateaus like Idarganj Sada and Savarai Sada during the late monsoon is a mesmerizing experience, as they are covered with a carpet of colorful flowers. Some of the forest patches have been traditionally protected by the locals due to their religious and cultural values. These are locally called Devarai. Due to this high level of protection and the least amount of disturbance, these patches are presently the gene pools for various species that are threatened. Plants welcome various seasons with offerings of flowers in varied colors. The Radhanagari Wildlife Sanctuary has good floral diversity, from tiny grasses to huge trees. A paradise and treasure trove for plant enthusiasts. Many of these plants have immense medicinal value, and a few of them are only known to grow and flourish in this landscape. These plants bloom across various seasons and also use a variety of substratum, from the trunks of large trees to rocky crevices. The flagship species of this sanctuary is the gaur. They are at home here, and if lucky, one can get a glimpse of herds of gaurs having an occasional bite on karvi or freely grazing on the plateau. The presence of the charismatic and dynamic mascot of Indian wildlife, the tiger, is also regularly reported from this sanctuary. Some of the notable mammals caught by the camera traps set by the Forest Department in this sanctuary are the leopard, sloth bear, sambar and striped-necked mongoose. Besides mammals, the diversity of birds is also equally rich in numbers. Along with the common resident species, this sanctuary is home to many rare, endemic and threatened species of birds. Due to this, the BNHS India and BirdLife International have declared this as one of the important bird areas. Rich diversity of insects is also seen here. Among them, butterflies are the most conspicuous and colorful insects. During early winter, sightings of large congregations of butterflies can be an additional bonus. Sightings of amphibians and reptiles are undoubtedly more frequent during the monsoon. The sanctuary has rich and unique diversity of amphibians and reptiles. The presence of the only known geckos in India with iridescent scales, aptly named Kolhapur dwarf gecko, is reported from this sanctuary. The management of this sanctuary is carried out by the Forest Department as per the guidelines laid down by the government. The eco-tourism activity in this sanctuary is largely conducted by involving local villagers through the formation of the village eco-development committees. This sanctuary attracts a large number of serious and amateur nature enthusiasts and tourists as well. After acquiring the necessary permissions from the Forest Department earlier, and by strictly following the rules and regulations of ecotourism, one can have a close encounter with the denizens of this sanctuary and also